Yo, what up, friends? As much as we don't like the evil empire type things within sports, even though I don't like it, I did pick the Dodgers that they were going to repeat as World Series champions before the season. Now, maybe the rest hurts them a little bit since they'll have off till Friday when the World Series starts. The Blue Jays is their club's World Series birth since winning back-to-back championships in 1992 and 1993. Game 1 of the World Series will be on Friday from the Rogers Center. These clubs, though, don't cry for me, Argentina. They are not that far away in terms of payroll. Yes, the Dodgers do have the most in the sport, but the Blue Jays still have a $280 million payroll themselves. Now, going into this series, the Los Angeles Dodgers are the 220 favorites per BetMGM, which implies a 69% chance of winning. This World Series pits, again, a juggernaut of just talent in the Dodgers versus a very dynamic offensive team and a team that is on the hunt. Young Blue Jays. The Dodgers are the defending champions, have constructed their roster to go to postseason, after NLCS, after World Series. They have prepared themselves for this, but the Blue Jays had the better regular season record, are riding a little bit more of a momentum, do have Vladimir Guerrero. I mean, we will see what happens. What are our keys to the series? We're about to find out from our experts. We're going to Los Angeles Dodgers versus the Toronto Blue Jays.
The key is going to be Toronto's pitching, to me, because you're going to be in a battle with the opposing pitching you got there with the Dodgers. I mean, you got Blake Snell going game 1, for Christ's sake. If Toronto has to compete pitching wise, otherwise it's going to be a long series. You got to be able to generate runs. Vladdy's got to do Vladdy things, and let's not forget, we could be getting Bo Bichette back for this World Series. Ooh. So that could be another game changer that Toronto has up their sleeve. But yeah, I think it's all going to come down to Toronto's pitching. If Toronto can have good pitching, solid pitching in this series, I think they have a chance to steal this World Series.
All right, Reece, what is your key to this World Series and your thoughts?
I mean, I've already told you, I don't think they have a chance. He just brought up why they don't have a chance. They don't have the pitching. Other than Kevin Gausman, who do you really trust on that staff? I know Varland's pitching okay, but okay is not going to cut it when you go in there versus this Hall of Fame lineup. Plus, you have to go against, like he just mentioned, Blake Snell on the other side, 3-0, 0.86 ERA. He's been untouchable. He's gone up versus just as good a lineups as this. They're not going to touch him, bottom line. And then after that is Glasnow, who's also sub-1. There's just too many arms. After Gausman, there's no one you trust in Toronto. They're going to give up runs. They're going to give up too many runs, and it's 4-1. 4-1 LA.
I mean, Amul, Reece is very down on the Blue Jays, but they have a hot offense. And
I'm not down. They don't have a hot offense. They have a hot 2 guys. They have Vladimir Guerrero, who's playing the greatest baseball we've ever seen a guy play in the playoffs. What happens if he isn't that Vlad? What happens if he comes back to earth? Then there's no one on that team you really fear. I know he said Bo Bichette might come back, but he hasn't played in a while. We don't know what Bo Bichette. Clement's having a great postseason. But the bottom line is, after those 2 guys, they don't have anyone hitting over 250. No one's really doing a lot. They've just relied on some key guys. That's it. The other offense is balanced. The Dodgers have 5 hitters that are hitting near 300. They've got a plethora of guys with 4 and 5 home runs. Teoscar's having his best playoffs that he's had as a pro. Mookie's hitting close to 300, and we know what Ohanty is. There's just too much on each side. There's too many bats. There's too many arms. I feel for Toronto. I really hope they could get 3 games or 2 games out of this, but I think it's 4-1.
By the way, I thought that it was an accident at first, but I love how you continue to call him Ohanty instead of Otani, like he's Pocahontas or something. Like he's a fucking
I'm adding a little aura to his name, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he sounds way more like samurai, like Ohanty.
Oh,
so I mean, Amul, a couple things we talked about. Guerrero's postseason already. Yep. The Dodgers pitcher has been talked about now. Their starting pitchers over 10 starts have a 1.40 ERA and 64 1/3 innings. Opponents hitting 132 batting average against them. What are your thoughts on this series?
Like the Dodgers bought or went out and bought championships. That's what they've done. Their GDP is equivalent to Egypt. The Jays, meanwhile, are in 52nd place with an equivalent GDP to Greece. Greece is at 282 million. So, it's going to come down to situational hitting, actually having hot players. You need more than Vlad. You need more than Springer to win. And I was thinking about this last night, right as the game ended. Like if the Mariners had won, then it would have started in LA. And since the Jays won, it's going to start in Toronto. I think that home field advantage is going to do something a little bit. Like the Canadians are just, we're all going to have us all singing "Oh Canada." I really do hope that the Jays are able to steal at least one or two, but I really don't want the Dodgers to because they're going to run roughshod, and at some point we're going to be sitting here talking maybe in the future, and it's going to be like, who can dethrone the Dodgers, and I just don't see it happening unless Toronto can get the job done defensively. Because pitching, you only have one good pitcher. You have Gausman. You maybe have Scherzer if Scherzer decides to turn back the clock. That's it. And there's only so much you can do. So they've got to play this the right way. Otherwise, it's just not going. It's going to go very bad very quickly. I'll leave it.
You guys keep bringing
there.
up this. The reason they're at home is because the Dodgers weren't on the field all year. The pitching staff was completely riddled. It was completely messed up. At the end of the day, if these Dodgers were on the field all year, that team would have won 110 games. Like, you're going to see. It's just going to be crazy.
I'm going to need y'all to stop with the disparaging remarks about the Blue Jays rotation, all right? Not just Kevin Gausman, but I want everybody on here to acknowledge my impact trade deadline trade of Shane Bieber has been excellent after all y'all shit on it. Second of all, you also have the young Trey Savage, as I like to call him, the Savage himself, coming up, only 23 years old.
He's been excellent. What is your mark for excellence? I'm not saying he hasn't been good, but he's been excellent.
Did you know Trey Savage was a Blue Jay before you talked about before you?
I did.
Shane Bieber has one win in these playoffs. One win.
Yeah.
That's excellent for someone coming off of Tommy John. Okay, don't be disparaging him. Okay, and
Justin Bieber has more wins in the MLB playoffs than Shane Bieber does.
I did know Trey Savage because I opened a box of cards that I had a minute earlier this year.
Guys, we have half as many wins as Shane Bieber does this postseason, and we're not on the damn field.
Max Scherzer. Yeah. What are we forgetting about Mad Max? Are we?
I brought up Max Scherzer.
He's still there.
Max Scherzer.
I love Mad Max, but Father Time's undefeated. He's not Cy Young Max Scherzer, and he's
not. I said if he turns back the clock. That's what I said.
No, you did, but he's going to have to turn that thing way back. We're talking he needs Marty McFly and Doc to take him in a time machine to like the 90s. Like, let's be serious.
I think if the Blue Jays want to turn this series on its head, they got to get to Blake Snell early.
Reece, you said 4-1 for the Dodgers, correct?
Yep.
All right. Who you got, AP, in the World Series champion?
I'll go 4-2 Dodgers. I'll go 4-2 Dodgers.
4-2 Dodgers. I am as well, Amul, going 4-2 Dodgers. I believe that the Toronto Blue Jays do have a hot enough offense, but again, I believe the Dodgers are just the wrecking crew that they are. We save you for last. What are your thoughts?
I want the Jays to upset the apple cart so badly, but I'm going to have to say 4-2 Dodgers because, you have to look and see how things are shaking out. But I'm happy. I'll be the first person to tell you I'll be happy if I'm wrong. I'll be completely thrilled. Do
you believe in miracles?
Subscribe on YouTube at Ball and Buds for sports and entertainment live streams and videos. Boom.